Hey, this is Retired Geek Woman, and this is Skyrim SE Retired Slow Play Part 17. And when we last left, we had gone to Dem Hollow Crypt. Isran, the Dawnguard leader, had asked us to go there and find out what the vampires were looking for. And we discovered that they were looking for a female vampire named Serana who had been left in a crypt for hundreds of years. And she seemed a little bit confused. She didn't have a lot of information, plus she didn't want to tell us much. But all she asked is that we would take her back to her father, who at the time we did not know was one of the oldest vampires ever. And when we took her back, he asked if we asked about our reward for bringing back his daughter, and he said, "Well, I'll give the only reward I can give you is everlasting life." And he turned into the biggest, ugliest, nastiest looking creature, and asked if we wanted to become one too. Well, heck no. I mean, look at the hair. He had no hair. He was bald. I mean, I don't want to look like that, so of course I don't want to be a vampire. I've never played a vampire, and I would never play a vampire. It's just not something I'm into. I should say never say never. It's something I'm not interested in. Don't know if I'll ever be interested in it. And so we declined the invitation to become a nasty, ugly vampire, and he gave us mud crabs. Ugh. He gave us that option, and when we declined it, he said, "Okay, you get one pass, one single pass." And he banished us from the big castle that we had taken Serana to. And so the next thing that we're supposed to do is to go report back to Isran that they were looking for Serana. She was in a castle, and where they are, and they have an Elder Scroll. Because at this point, Isran doesn't know that, and he needs to know that. So that's what we're supposed to do next. That's where we're supposed to go next. And so what I'm trying to do is find a road that leads us out of here. And it is very difficult to find this road. And also, it doesn't help a thing that I keep finding Nern routes. So, and I have almost an inability, like 99% of the time, to pass them by. I can't do it. So picking up some nerd roots along the way. I also noticed that we have a level up coming, so I chose to do health this time, and we'll do the perks later. Yes, I keep putting them off, but we'll get to them as I figure out more and more what I want to do. So I'm trying to find this road that I'm pretty sure that we had not come down a road. I guess we actually did go over a mountainside because I had trouble finding the way down, but I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to follow these roads as much as possible. I do have the Better Roads mod or whatever it is. It's listed in my comments section, but anyway, regardless, I'm trying to be better about not just climbing over the top of mountains as much as possible. I'm trying to stick to the roads. So what my very next goal, my very next quest, and the next thing I'm doing is to go back to Isran and report to him what we have discovered. And by the way, I just found a road, so I was very excited. Hey, I found a road. I'm on the road. So I'm headed, I am going to go do that. That's the very next thing that I'm planning on doing. More than likely, I'm going to stop along the way somewhere, just because it is a very long journey. For those of you who popped in here and you haven't listened to any of my previous episodes, I do not fast travel. That is a rule that I have for myself. I have a number of them. I don't like traveling at night. In this case, I didn't have any option. I could have just waited until morning, but I decided, no, let's just go ahead and go. It doesn't hurt to travel at night on occasion when it's necessary, but for the most part, if I'm in a town or in one of my houses or whatever, I will sleep until morning so that I can travel during the day. In this particular case, as soon as we got out of Dim Hollow Crypt, we took Serana directly to her father, and then we ended up being out overnight, and that's okay. But most of the time I won't do that. So again, I only travel during the day. I do not fast travel unless I'm completely stuck. In other words, like I can't get somewhere, I'm having trouble getting somewhere, I've searched for way too long and I'm still stuck. Sometimes I will fast travel, but when I find myself doing that a lot, I know it's because I'm tired and that I should probably quit playing for the day. The only other time that I'll fast travel is if I come out of a crypt or dungeon or ruin or whatever, and you come out a separate door, a secret hidden door or something, and it takes me, I'm right at the top of a mountain or something. So my options are, I can fast travel to the entrance of the dungeon, I can climb down the mountain and go around. So it just depends on the situation, but most of the time I won't fast travel. So we're going to leave here and making our way towards Imperial Soldier. Okay. We're going to see that more and more as the war progresses. I have not advanced the war much yet because it's to the point where it's going to start making a lot of difference in the game. And there's things that I want to do, there's quests that I want to do before I advance in the war quest line. And so I'll just wait on that for a little while. Anyway, it changes things is what I'm trying to say. And so I got to thinking, by the way, do you see I just put a marker there? What that is you can put a marker on your map of a specific location so that it always shows on your compass. Do you see that teal green mark? That's my house. And you know, while there is, when you get closer to it, it would have shown up on your compass, but I wanted to have it always showing on my map, because any time, or most of the time, when I transverse across the entire map, if I'm even in a remote close area of my house, I'm going to stop there. And the reason is usually I've got quite a few things in my pack that I want to drop off, things that I don't want to sell, that I'm going to use in some way. So I decided to put that marker on there so that I can see it better, so when I'm coming across the map that I'm stopping by and seeing my house. I had also asked for Balamund to leave Riften and move to my house, and well, after I had left Serana and I knew I was on the way to Riften, which again is all the way across the map, I decided that I wanted to stop in at my house and drop a few things off and maybe do some more building. You remember I had ordered, I don't know how many, I think a couple hundred logs, and I've also been picking up a little more ore, not nearly as much as I need, but some. And so I want to make some more progress on building my house. That's an important part of this game world for me, is building my house. I really enjoy doing that. Yes, I could buy the pre-builds. I've always done that in any of the Elder Scrolls games, including Daggerfall, which if it's not modded, it's really kind of basic. You can't decorate it or anything. It's just a place to drop loot. And I'm not even sure if you can sleep there. It's just, to me, was it the first time that I could get a house in a game? It might have been. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. This really is being part of this world. And so I didn't like the houses in Morrowind. I didn't like any of them. Oblivion, I purchased pre-mades, and I had them across the land. I always liked that great big one. I don't remember where it was at, but there's a huge one that's like the epitome of the I'm a wealthy person house. And then in the original Skyrim and the vanilla Skyrim, you could buy pre-made houses, and I did. And then they had the wonderful Hearthfire DLC, which I thought was such a neat thing added to the game. I don't. A lot of people don't like building their house from the ground up, but I love it. It really adds to my immersion, where it's like, okay, I'm going to build a house, and you collect the materials, you craft materials that you need, and so I don't know. I just really enjoy it. I've never built any of the ones except for Lakeview Manor. And ouch, that hurts. Wonder. Just a side note, when they've got some of those places right there where the bandits drop rocks on you, wouldn't it be nice if you can push those rocks out of the way so they don't hurt you every single time you come through there? So it's very, I don't know, maybe you can. Every time I run through there, they hurt me, and they hurt Mercurio too, and our horses. So it's kind of annoying. Anyway, as I was saying, I've never had any of the other houses except the Lakeview Manor, and I love it where it's at because it's just so beautiful. You get the river. There's a river right there. There's beautiful mountains, beautiful woods and forests, and I love it. I love the way it feels. I love being there, hanging out, and it just seems a nice place for me to. Oh, look at this! Check this out. This is what looks to be a headless horseman ghost. And interestingly, it's it's going along the path that we are riding on. And I kept checking to make sure that I'm on my right path. I don't ever remember seeing this before. And so I got up close to it and it's like, yep, that's a headless horseman for sure. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's about. I think tried to. It seems like if you bump into him like that, he started to turn away, but then he just kept going. And then I thought, well, what if I could run up there and talk to him real quick? And so I tried to do that. This is weird, isn't it? I just haven't seen this before. I'm sure there's a quest involved somewhere along the way, but it's like, wow, that's kind of interesting. I had never seen it before, so I love that. And maybe because I travel during the day, maybe he only goes at night. So you don't have any option to talk to him or anything. He's definitely headless. He's some kind of a soldier. Oops. Maybe I could have. I don't know. I wanted to make sure that I was heading in the right direction, but I thought, wow, that guy, that's a pretty interesting fellow. So I need to remember that guy. So here I am checking my map. Where am I going? There's my house with my new fancy marker on it. And that helps me know where I'm supposed to go next. So I just found that to be interesting. So it's like, okay, let's call my horse. I've ran far enough. And I continued on this way for a little while, and he's still ahead of me. And then it looked like, no, he's still ahead. It's almost like he was expecting me to follow him. Or her. I mean, we don't have any idea who or what this is. I mean, I didn't expect it to still be ahead of us. So I thought, wow, how far is it gonna go? Very strange and interesting. It reminds me of a really interesting quest in Oblivion where there's a ghost that's standing. Someone tells you about a ghost. I think this is as far as he goes. See, turn around here. Yeah, no. Nope, we still had. There's a ghost standing on a place overlooking, and ends up being a sunken ship or something. And it was just a fascinating quest that I stumbled across, just like I stumbled across this. It's not a quest yet. There's something going on here, and I'll eventually find out what it is. But it's a ghost that was It's someone that had been trapped underneath a ship that that crashed. And so it's a whole quest thing to figure out what happened to him. It's very interesting. I loved it because I stumbled across it. It's like the Prima guide is wonderful, but it really can take away from the exploration like this. I mean, look at this guy. To me, it's just fascinated me, and I'm almost positive maybe because I only travel during the day. That has to be it. I can't imagine ghosts traversing the roads in the middle of the day. You wouldn't see them very well, for one thing. So just really interesting, and it really adds a level of mystery and like exploration and things that I don't do a whole lot because I tend to be a little bit OCD in my adventuring. I have a plan and a path and something that I definitely want to do. So it was really cool to come across this, and I was just fascinated with it. It's like I could have followed him forever, but obviously I didn't want to stop. I want to stay on my path. I don't know how much further he travels on my path. I think one of the problems with an 11-year-old game that was one of the biggest games ever is that people have played it to death to the point where there's no mystery, there's nothing that they haven't done. And for me, I haven't played it like that. I have never finished Skyrim. I haven't never finished the main quest. I've only quest line that I think I finished, as far as I recall, was the Mage College, and even then there's a ton of side quests that I've never done. I don't know how many there are. It's almost endless, but I've done a few, but not a lot. I don't think I've ever completed the Civil War. I guess I have completed destroying the Black Brotherhood, but that didn't take very long. Basically, I killed Astrid, and I told the commander, and he told me to go wipe out their hold that they were in, and then that was kind of the end. So I guess that was completed, but that wasn't very much to it. So there's just so much that I haven't done, I haven't explored. And that's the reason for me recording this playthrough, is so that I'll get further than I have before and, complete the game at least to a certain level. It's an open world, and it seems like to me that there's almost no end to it, from what I know, at least. You can keep playing it. I've heard you can keep playing it long after you've completed the main quest or whatever. I suppose, I don't know how many quests there are. I don't know how far you can go after you've gotten a certain point, when you've finished certain things. I'm not going to play a thief, so I'm never going to play the Thieves Guild stuff. So I don't know. We'll see how far this takes us, how long we let it go. So right there, I just killed a red guard, and I decided to run ahead a little bit. I don't know where my horse got off to, and so I ran ahead a little bit before I called him. You'll see me do that often. Sorry for my creaky chair. It's about time for me to get a new chair. Suggestions are accepted. What is a good chair? It's interesting. Just a horse standing by the side of the road. That's ominous. Probably someone chasing something, or a dead guy or something, but I decided not to stop and explore it at this time. Which, it's to my detriment. I'm sure there's plenty of quests, like we ended up at that, some kind of ruin or something, and so it created a quest when we stopped and figure out what was going on. So I'm sure there's lots of things like that available. So I don't know if it gives you any kind of percentage of the game, percentage of quests that you've completed. I don't know the answer to that. So this was an interesting thing. When you come up the hill right here, very often you're going to have creatures. Now, if it's wolves, great. No big problem there. But I have seen giants here before. But let me tell you what I'm doing before I do anything else. Oh, it says I'm in combat. So I look around and say, okay, what am I in combat with? And I'm looking around, and I don't see what's going on. I can hear something. So whatever it was has been killed. It was probably a wolf or something. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to take a look here and say what's left of my house. Foundation, I need quarried stone to finish the foundation of the big part of the house. So I did the little part of the house already, but I need quarried stone. Now back here beside the house is a stone quarry, and you can mine your own stone. I don't know where else you would get it from. I don't know if you could buy it. I'm not sure. But I decided to take some time and quarry some stone I need to build my house. So I just sped through there a little bit so you didn't have to see me pounding on the wall. This is our smelter. I actually have not used this one, so it gave us a little tutorial. It's like, hey, this is what's going on. So I currently only have maybe 4 or 5 iron ore in my current pack, and it's as simple as clicking back and forwards. I went ahead and did the gold, and I had a madness ore in there. Isn't that weird? I don't know what that's for yet. Malachite. So all of these things, I don't know for sure how much of any of it we'll be using, but I go ahead and make up whatever I currently had on me anyway. It says I'm unable to run. This is no big deal unless there's a giant or something around, in which case I'd be in trouble. So come back over to the bench and look at the house, and I have enough stone. Looks like I got 100, what I just did. And I go ahead and I finish the rest of the main house. I need some nails for the main hall. And what this is we started off with a little tiny house in the front, and now we are building what's called the main hall, which is the big part of the house. So the little house that we started off with will actually become an entrance, and we'll be able to see this in a little bit. You can see that I'm still needing more clay, more nails, and then I'm doing as much as I can with what's currently in my pack. It says I need more clay, and I thought I had some. And then I remembered maybe we should check our chest. Yeah, we got 20 in there. So we're going to grab that. And I should have grabbed that other ore, the ore that starts with the C, Canonary, I don't know what it's called, I have to look at it, to be able to craft a couple things that we need. I know I need more nails, my gosh. You just use so many nails. And my smithing is increased because of this. So, I'm getting bonus smithing from all of this building. So anyways, we're going to look here. We're going to get the walls in the main hall. We're going to get the second level walls. And let's see where we're at. And we need some more nails. We have 12. We need 25 more nails to build the roof of the main house. So luckily you can just stand right here and turn between your chest, the workbench, the anvil. And so you really don't have to move at all. So that's kind of cool. So you can just stand here and do your thing. I noticed the book got put back where it belongs, so I think that's kind of amusing. So now we have the roof of the main hall, and we also can make the cellar. And the cellar is a really interesting place, and I just double checked here. It's like, what else do I need to do? That is really all of the outer structure of your main house. Now there's going to be additions that we can add, and by the way, I looked here and thought, okay, do we need an armor workbench? And then I was thinking about Balamund uses one, so I went ahead and decided to go ahead and put that along with the smelter. I don't know that I'll ever use it, but now we can take a look, and you can see you've got a smaller one that looks like that was our original house, this original part here. And when you come inside, then now you have, oh, look at Balamund, he's sleeping in our bed. And then when you open the door, you can see this is the main part of your house. Now we'll be able to put additions on it, and I'll decide what those additions are going to be. This is going to be the, I think that's the children's bedroom, or do we have extra bedrooms? I don't know. This is going to be the master bedroom right here. And there's going to be more rooms on each side, but this is what we currently have. So take a look here. There's a workbench now in here, and you can see all the things that we could add if we added all the stuff. You can see that we're going to have plenty of mannequins. There's mannequins, I think, up and down, but I don't know if there's enough for everybody else. But so you can see there's a lot of work to be done on this house. But the main part is in, and there's workbenches in different parts. And I think what we're gonna do is probably do the add-ons before we do too much furniture, because you just don't need so much of it. But I wanted to say it's complete. This is the cellar. It currently has no lights, so you can't see. But there's all kinds of things that we're going to be able to put down here. And one of the coolest features, let me see if I can, an aquarium. What? I'd never seen that before. But we're going to definitely look into that. Tables, safes. We can build safes down here. And there's just all kinds of decorations, more mannequins, shelves that we can put down here. And then we can have targets, we can have a child's practice dummy, grindstones, you can put some, here we go, a shrine base. So we can have shrines for all of those amulets that we have. We can use those to build these shrines, all of the shrines. And you can see Akatosh, Arcade Vela, Julianos, Karaneth Mara, Stendar, and I don't know if I scroll down enough to see the rest of them. Talos and Zenthar. So what you need is the amulet for each of those. So you may have seen me saving a few amulets that we found along the way. So we need them to be able to build these shrines. And they're not just decorative. You can actually use them. So there you can see it right there. So it's I really love having that. So if you stop by here and you've got diseases, you can get yourself cured. And I thought that's kind of cool. So in my previous plays, I've never actually completed it because I didn't have a particular amulet. So we'll be watching for that, and to be able to, keeping the amulets, and we'll keep shoving them away. I typically use this chest as my inside building materials. At some point, you've built everything outside that you need, and I moved the building materials to this chest here. But for now, I'm just putting things in it that I think that I may end up displaying or that I know I'm going to be using. So that's why I'm taking a quick look and say, okay, what do I have? Is there anything I can tuck away in here? Any swords that I want to display as opposed to selling? Just anything that I want to go ahead and hang on to, I stick it in this chest. And then eventually, obviously, I'll get rid of things. But for now, it makes a good storage place. I don't think I've ever gotten to the point of getting rid of it because it's just a good place to begin those storing things. I put the fire salts in there because we may end up doing alchemy. And at some point, I'll build an alchemist station, and I think that there's going to be a storage right next to it, and we'll move all that. But so anyway, this is kind of some things that I've been holding on to that we're going to save, that we're going to put in here and store. These are things that I've been saving up, and I've mentioned it a few times as I have been building or been finding them. I've been mentioning that I'm going to use it to build. So you can probably hear the excitement in my voice because I am so excited that I've gotten to this point. But this is just the beginning. There's so much more that we're going to do with this house. And it really kind of comes together, and it becomes a home after a while because you add so much to it. And then once you've done all the building, then you can really customize it with your own stuff. And that's kind of cool. So, yeah, I keep forgetting this purchase agreement. I keep opening it because I forget what it is. I have to go to Markarth, and I'm not interested in going to Markarth yet. So as you can see, I'm still looking through and saying, okay, what do I need to tuck away here? And then we're going to figure out what we're doing. And again, most of our gold that we have right now, which is at 14,000, we're going to be using it to continue to build this house. Hopefully we can find what we need in the wild. We can continue to mine ore, but at some point we can buy things if we want to, but I really would like to not do that as much as possible. So you can see I'm still running around going, okay, what's next? What can we do next? I want to do as much as I can while I'm here. And so I decided to come back over here and store some items that we're going to maybe use for later for building. And somewhere at some point I'm going to find a place to store all these keys. Keys just drive me crazy because you end up with they don't take up room, but you end up with a pack full of them, and you probably won't ever use them again. Probably, but it's like, what if I don't have it and I need it? So I don't know how you determine that. I mean, what do you guys do? Do you dump them and then have to go back and get them? Or you just leave them in your pack? Because it just takes up space and it's in my way. It's like every time I open my pack, there's so much stuff in here that keys just drive me the nuttiest because they're individual, they're labeled a certain name, and I never know, am I going to come back here to this particular place where I'm going to need this key? I suppose I should just start dumping them someday in a bowl. I think I saw one time someone that was displaying a house in Oblivion, and they had a bowl for keys. I thought, well, that kind of makes sense. There's my bench over there. So it looks like Balaman has quite a little work area here. We definitely want to keep him happy since he hangs out here. See, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, so if I just sleep a few hours till it's daylight, then we can travel during the day. Plus, when you rest with your loved one in the same bed, you get a feeling your lover's comfort. And if you check over here, you can look at the different active effects. And I think you get, looking for lover's comfort. There it is. Skills improve 15% faster for 8 hours. And that's just from sleeping in the same bed as my loved one. So, heck, I'll take that. They should stop in here every 8 hours, right? Haven't made any money. And every time I check, you know, if I didn't check for a long period of time, you get more money. But I think I got a couple hundred there. So I love, he said, yep, I'll be here. So I love that. I got a homestead. I've got my house. I've got my spouse who hangs out here and takes care of things. I don't know if you noticed, but when we came through here, he was chopping wood. And, you know, he's a blacksmith. So, geez, hit the wrong button. Not funny. But so it's just nice that he's here. And you're going to see this shape up. You're going to see we're going to build on other additions on here as time goes on. So I'm sorry I get so excited over it, but I can't help it. It's just, to me, it's a important part of the game. It became, that is my home base. It stays my home base indefinitely. Now, I'll get other houses eventually because it's nice to have those other houses to sleep in when I'm in various towns. Plus, what else are you going to do with your gold? I mean, if someone wants to tell me why I need to have 300,000 gold saved up, please let me know. I don't believe you can buy better armor than you can make and enchant. So I see absolutely no reason to have that much money for anything. So please let me know if I'm wrong. But I just don't see the point. So we are going to continue on. We are headed to the Dawnguard, Fort Dawnguard, to see Isran. And Isran is located south of Riften, southeast of Riften. And so I had looked on here and say, okay, how are we going to go? If we go through Helgen, which is the opposite direction of where I'm going, that's kind of a shortcut through the mountains. So that's the way that I want to go. And it's raining. Oh, I just love it when it rains. Look at that. The sun's streaming down and it's raining. I mean, that's my favorite in real life. So it's definitely my favorite here. And I'm glad I got to see that for at least a little bit there. So, okay, I'm headed the right direction to get through Helgen. Hello, little bunny. I love the little bunnies that hop on by. It's like the double check again. Don't want to get lost. So here we come up on a very confusing thing to me. In the past, I've been able to go around Helgen from either side, right? I've done it many, many times, but every once in a while, when I come up this way, I have to go into Helgen. I have no other option. And inside Helgen are bandits. Now, I would swear to you that I've been through here so many times and I've gone around it. So I don't understand why sometimes I have to come into Helgen and fight these bandits. So I'll check it again when I come from the other direction next time and see what, I don't know why this happens to me. So I get very confused. So in the meantime, I'm trying to run through and go through the path that I know to get out. And what I end up doing is getting stuck. And I can't get off my horse, so I have to come down here, jump off my horse, and attack these bandits. And poor Mercurio had tried to follow me, and he got stuck up there too. So our horses are in the way. There's bandits in the way. Mercurio's in the way. Mercurio's horse is trying to run through and to get out of the way of the fight. So it's just a mess. And it really annoyed me. Because I swear to you that you can go around Helgen, go around the outside, and you never have to go through it. So it really frustrated me. So I'm like, let's get rid of the bandits. I don't know if you remember, this keep right here is where we came into after we almost got our head chopped off. And we followed Roloff in here, and Ulwick and Roloff were having a conversation. That was where that happened. And we had gone up those stairs and jumped out a window. Kind of looks different now. When you look around, it's like, oh my gosh, this poor place has been completely destroyed. And there's obviously no citizens living here, just bandits who kind of took over. Which, if you think about it, a ruined city is a perfect place for a bandit. But anyway, I knew to get out that you had to go through this burned out building because I've done this before. And I thought, oh, wait, gonna pick up a little bit of 37 gold there and a healing potion? Sure. Glad you bandits left that behind. So what I'm trying to do is find out the doors to get out. And I'm like, yep, and I kept thinking, this can't be Helgen. And I thought, yeah, it sure is. This is the way we ran with Roloff. Not Roloff, the other guy. The Imperial guy that had tried to kill us and then tried to lead us out. And then all of a sudden there's a couple of bandits. So I'll take care of the bandits. And looking for lockpicks really is all I care about. And then all of a sudden my daggone horse pops in my face. Why? I have no idea why the bandit popped in my face. The horse popped up in my face. I can't get around it. I need to go out the way that my horse is currently standing. So I wasn't sure what to do. I mean, I could get on it, and try to go ride it. But instead, I was able to kind of squish around it a little bit and check out the bandit that we killed. And then finally, I see the doors. It's like, okay, let's get the heck out of here. So I don't know. Look at that. Apprentice lock is a lot easier for me to pick, and my lock picking went up. So I think using those perks have helped. So anyway, I'm on the other side. I'll check it out later on why that happened. It just seems to me that every other time I've been able to go around that side over there and not have to go through. And I was pretty sure you can go around from either direction. So it just annoyed the crap out of me and frustrated me because I've had that happen to me before. And I'm just not sure why it does. So back on track, we are headed to the Dawnguard, Fort Dawnguard, southeast of Riften, so that we can give a report to Isran about what we found in Dim Hollow Crypt. So that's where we're heading. That's why I'm taking this supposed shortcut through the mountains to get down to Riften. That way you don't have to go all the way around. Because the other way is like you have to go to Windhelm and down. But this is a shortcut through the mountains. If it works, if you can find the way through. So again, this is the troubles of the non-fast traveler, is figuring out the paths that you need to take, and eventually it becomes second nature. But it's been a while since I've played consistently and played very far, so it's kind of more or less fumbling around and finding my way all over again, because I tend to take very, very long breaks from Skyrim, like months and sometimes longer, and I don't want to do that this time. I want to continually play, so your encouragement is very important to me, because it will almost kill that. It's very important to me that your encouragement will keep me playing. So please make comments, please subscribe to my channel, because all of that will help me continue. And did you see there where I almost accidentally killed a hunter? I thought that he was attacking me, and he wasn't. He was hunting something, and so because I already had my spells loaded, I just shot him at a rock. So that's frustrating that you can't cancel your spells. I don't know if you can cancel swings. I don't have any idea, since I really don't use a sword. After the opening sequence in the tutorial, I go straight to magic usually. I like magic. It's the same thing as using bows. You can go kill things from a distance, and that's what I like to do. Just back up and shoot them with spells. this is the first time you've watched any of my episodes, I play a full mage. I use magery exclusively. I guess I don't know if you consider having staves using magery, but I usually have a couple of staves on me that when my magery is gone and I don't have any magic potions or whatever, I use a staff to continue doing damage even though my magery is gone. I pretty well exclusively play mages on just about any game that I play that has that ability. I like playing that way. I guess it's the same as those who like using bows. It's the same concept. I like being able to back up and shoot things or shoot things from far away. And I love magery. I like the visuals of it, you know, the spells, how they look. I love how you can see Rhiannon, how she looks when there's a kill scene. It's like, Mercurial, catch up and kill that thing, will you? I love the kill scenes when I can see me using magic, and it's just cool. You know, I love it when games have magic, and pretty much all games that I've played, and I play usually role-playing games, almost all of the games that I have played have had magic. There's been very few that haven't. And I tend to not enjoy the ones that don't have any kind of magic. So, checking my map. Did I make the right turn? Not sure. Hope so. Sometimes I hurry too fast. And what do we have here? Something killed some wolves. Well, thank you for getting those out of our way, because we are busy. We are on a mission. Yes, we are headed to Riften. So, I love the road signs that are in the game. They're just cool looking. It fits the theme of being, you know, very rustic, and you know, they don't have modern. These are handmade signs, obviously, so it's not a modern thing. I love the era of dragons and horses, and you know, I don't know. I've played some modern games that are different than that, but I don't enjoy them as much. You know, I love games where you can ride a horse. I love games where there's magic. So that's my genre. I do play other games, and I may do some Let's Play on those at some point. I've played the Sims series, all of them. Hated 4, loved 3, after I modded it a little bit. Yeah, I did. I used mods to make just a couple. I play that. I play Stardew Valley, which I absolutely love, which is a gardening, mostly a farm simulator game. And I absolutely love it. I've played probably as much or more Stardew Valley. It's my second played game, I think, of as far as the number of hours total that I've played of all the games that I have. So you may see some gameplay on some of that. And what I'm going to be doing on my channel, I'm new at this. I'm brand new at this. This is episode 17 of Skyrim, and it's my first game that I've loaded. So you're going to see not channels. I'm going to do playlists, so that if you're interested in a particular game, you'll be able to see the list of games, as opposed to just massive amounts of uploaded videos of stuff all mixed in. I've seen other streamers that just have, you know, just massive amounts, and that's great. But I think playlists make better sense to me because of my OCD need to organize everything, and I've already got this game on its own playlist. So, you know, if I get to the point where I'm absolutely bored out of my gourd, I may go ahead and start another series of some other game. But I hopefully am not going to do that this time. I'm hopefully going to play this game to whatever the conclusion is. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. Oblivion had an obvious conclusion, although it was my understanding that after I completed the main quest that I could have continued. But I was the head of the Fighters Guild, the Mage Guild, and I don't even know if there was. Obviously not the Thieves Guild. I never got into any of that. I was the hero in the arena. I was pretty much everything that I wanted to be, and then I finished the main quest, and it had a very dramatic ending to it. And so that would, to me, that was like, okay, I'm done. And so when I say I've completed Oblivion, to me, I did. And in Skyrim, I'm going to plan to do the same thing. I will not complete the main quest until I am ready to say I'm done playing Skyrim, at least this playthrough. So that's my plan. As you saw, that there were a couple of different gates that I could have entered Riften, and I decided I always like to go in the stable door. I get confused and I go out the other door. It's like, where am I and how do I get around? So I always come around to the front. And I think what I plan to do here is sell some stuff, because I know I do have a few things to get rid of. And the more that we can, because I don't know. Now, there's that beautiful vampire I had an opportunity to be. No thanks. So as much stuff as I can get rid of, I try, because I don't know what we're going to be doing next. I mean, we're headed down to talk to Isran. Who knows what he's going to have us do or where he's going to send us. So talk to Grelka, and she's like the heavy armor type person. So I try to sell her, although she does take other things. So I do have 2 amulets of Stendar, whatever, and just get rid of those. And anything else that she'll take, she doesn't have a ton of gold, but I forgot that she does take other things. I thought she was only armor, and she doesn't. She takes other things. And try to hang on to the gems, because there's a gem person here and they only buy gems. And so I debated about that other sword, and decided I need the gold more. We're up to almost 15,000 now, so that's a really good thing. And yep, I go ahead and decide to sell that. I don't remember our next follower, what all they have on them. I don't think very much. So we'll see. I think we're going to be picking up higher valued items anyway. Oh, I should have sold that, did I? Oh, she's only got 34. So what I'm doing is just checking and see what I've got left. I've got some vampire armor. It's not awfully heavy, but it's like,
Come back when
I just like to sell as much as I can. And there's our gemologist over here. And so we can sell jewelry and gems to Maldesi. So those amethysts and other gems, not the flawless ones. I'm hanging on to them because I thought there's a quest eventually we'll pick up, and maybe from this person from Maldesi. But just getting rid of a few things. I'm still hanging on to that. I hope I don't forget. I should probably put it somewhere in case we come across a quest. So that gets rid of quite a bit of our stuff. I really don't want to go to this guy because he's like a thief. So anyway, that gets rid of quite a few things. It gets quite a bit more gold in our pocket. So now it's time for us to head down to the Dawnguard, Fort Dawnguard, I keep saying it wrong, and talk to Isran. So that's the next thing that we're going to do here. So get on your horse and ride. And I know it's down this direction. If I'm smart, what I do is I follow along the back of this, the walls of Riften. And I got off by mistake. Like, oh my goodness. I had not intended to do that. So follow around the walls. If you follow around the walls along the back of Riften, it will get you pointed to that road. And so many times I forget to do that, end up lost in those woods over there, and it's kind of a waste of time. But you get on the road, you can see my pointer is pointing right at the area that I need to go in, which is Dayspring Cavern. Is that what it is? Not sure. But I am right there, and it's really close by. And the first time I went there, I had a hard time finding it. And then I paid attention to my surroundings. And if you look, when we come up on it, there is a dead tree stump right where you need to go in. Obviously, your pointer... Oh, there was a thief back there. Ugh. Yeah, no. Right there is a dead tree stump. And if you pay attention, it's like a little marker right there. So if you pay attention, you won't miss it. I used to have a hard time with this. It's like, ugh. So in we go, and this cold area right here, but then you come down this hill and you come to this beautiful area. And while I don't like the cold, I do love the beautiful icicles that are kind of hanging off down from the waterfall. It's just really beautiful. And a little bit of greenery, mostly brownery, but that's okay. It's really beautiful here. I've never really explored that whole area over there. I probably should. Again, I'm not too much of an explorer. I'm not as much of an adventurer as I should be. I tend to follow a single focus, and that, you miss a lot of things along the way. So get the bunnies out of the way. Go on, bunnies. What you doing? So get out of the way, every little creature. There's a guy just chilling. And then all of a sudden, we can hear there's some kind of fight going on. And as we can see, it's vampires. That one went flying. Wow. So apparently vampires have found the Fort Dawnguard. And apparently the others had taken care of them before we arrived. Someone must have a spell to resurrect vampires. I don't know who did that. Ooh, an 830 value necklace. Nice. Oh, that was Isran.
I should have known it was only
So,
a matter of time before they found us. It's the price.
He
we pay
resurrected
for
himself?
opening
I
our
don't know.
free
I don't know what happened.
We'll have to
I
step
didn't see
apart
it. I
if
thought he was
that's
dead. I thought he was a dead guy.
I don't suppose you have
So-
some good news for me.
We try to give our
Of
report.
course. Why did I suppose differently? Fine. Tell me what you know. A woman trapped in there? That doesn't make any sense. Who is she? More
Like,
importantly,
well,
where
we
is
kind of
she?
took her home.
I'm waiting to hear what any of this means.
Edwin isn't. Ezra is not
What?
amused.
And you didn't stop them? You didn't secure the scroll?
Well, I didn't think of stealing her scroll, killing her and stealing her scroll.
I suppose you're lucky you're not
No,
dead.
I didn't get the chance
Or
to get it
worse.
back. Or find out about it.
Them. By the divines. This couldn't get much worse. This is more than you and I can handle.
And Ezra is realizing we've got a problem that's bigger than him.
Well, of course we do. I'm old. Not
I didn't say you were old or stupid.
We're just going
I'm
to
just
need some
stating the
help.
obvious.
If they're bold enough to attack us here, then this may be bigger than I thought. I have good men here, but there are people I've met and worked with over the years. We need their skills, their talents, if we're going to survive this. If you can find them, we might have a chance. Right to the point, aren't you? I like that. Not like those fools in the Order. We should keep it small. Too many people.
So, he's saying that
I think
he wants a couple of people to come help.
Breton girl. with
Serene
smoke in
Gerard
particular.
is a
Fascination
Breton
with
girl. That's
weapons
kind of
in
funny,
particular.
because I'm a Breton girl.
Last I knew, she was out
And he
of the
tells
woods,
us where she's
and that
at.
she was about to find the biggest dwarven ruins yet. Might need a little convincing, but she should. You'll also want to find Gunmar.
And Gunmar.
Big brute of a Nord.
Big brute of
Hates
a Nord.
vampires almost as much as I do.
Hates vampires
Got
almost
it
as
into
much
his head
as
years
Ezra
back that his
does.
experience with animals would help. Trolls in particular, from what I hear.
Ugh.
Last I knew, he was out scouring Skyrim
So,
for more beasts to
Looking
tame.
for beasts to tame.
Bring
Okay,
the
so
two of
now
them back here,
what's happened
then we
is
can get started
Ezra
on
has
the
given us
plan.
2 people to go find and bring them back here. That's our next part. And I
Watch
decided
your back.
not to spend the time to ask him more questions, and we probably should, but that's background. But right now we have a new mission. We need to go find these 2 people. And we're going to leave it right there. thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I hope you will continue. Please don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.